Ready to get something beautiful on your front door for some noticeable curb appeal? Stay tuned. All right, guys, so these are the supplies that you are going to need. Let me sit these down here. I got this board here from Walmart, and it was only $7.99, $6.99 or $7.99. And I got it in the crafting aisle. I saw it and I said, I would love to do a wreath with this. Wanted to do something different. So I have that. And then I have this ribbon. I got this from, I believe it was Hobby Lobby. And you can always get this buffalo check just about anywhere because it's so in style right now. It's $3.99. I've already used some off of here, so I'll show you how much of this I'll be using. And I got this wooded bead garland from the Dollar Tree, so just $1.25. And I got a piece of this floral foam. I have floral foam from back in the day because I used to make flowers and bouquets and all that stuff. So I have had that downstairs. You can get this also at Dollar Tree. You can get any kind of greenery from Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, or a previous wreath, which this is what I got these leaves from, a previous wreath. And I also got this from the Dollar Tree. So you can mix and you can match whatever you would like to do. And then you can also get this at the Dollar Tree, or this is a bigger amount of it. I got this from Hobby Lobby. So this is floral wire, help hold things in place. And then I got some of these felt pads. I got these from the Dollar General. And I'm going to put these, just about 4 of them, on the back of here because the back will be against the door and I don't want my glass to get scratched up. I got this from the Dollar General. This is jute, and it's basically a cord, basically kind of like a burlap type of cord. So I got that. And this is my H from a previous wreath. I got this from Amazon, so I will link that down below in the drop down description box below this video. You can get whatever initial you like. You need a glue gun and some glue sticks. All right, and whatever flowers you want to use of your choice. And even if you want, you guys, you can also get ribbon from somewhere else. Different types of ribbon. This might be a little bit too Christmassy to put it as the base ribbon, so I may just put a little bit of this in between, you know, certain places because I want more of a natural look, even though I am using red flowers. But I really love this. This is a burlap ribbon. It has black polka dots, but I don't think I'm going to use that because I have this, and it just may be a little bit too busy. This matches the rug on my porch, so that's what I really want to use that for, to kind of coordinate with the rug. And then you can use whatever flowers you want to of your choice. And also you're going to need some wire cutters. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so first what we're going to do, I'm going to put this down on here so I don't get a lot of remnants on the board. But I wanted to show you, all you do is stick your leaves in like that, and to hold them in place, what you can do is put a little bit of glue right at the base of where the floral pick or the leaf pick sticks into the foam. That way, oh, got those hot glue gun strings. So that way it won't be easy to come out. So what you want to do is go ahead and put all the leaves you want to in here, whatever length you want your leaves to extend beyond or either inside of the scope of your board. You can do that now. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them on the foam. So that's what it's looking like at this point. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of this in there as well. So I'm going to cut it down at the bottom. So this is what we have so far, and I think I'm going to stick with that. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm going to go ahead and put my red flowers in now. For summer, I really like the tulips, so I'm going to put a few of those in. And you can cut them however long you want to, and that way you can kind of stagger them to make a more fuller effect. Okay, and I'm going to put my last two. I think this is going to be my last two. I'm not sure. I have a whole bunch of red flowers. Oh, what am I doing? I have a whole bunch of red flowers. So I may add a few more in. I'll have to see what it's looking like at the end. Okay, so if you can see that, most of my little flowers is at the top and the center. Down here in this empty spot is where I'm going to put the bow. Okay, now for the wire, I'm going to go ahead and cut it first. I'm going to take off about 10 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that now. I know I won't need this much, but I just like to have extra just to use just in case, rather more than not enough. Okay, now what I'm going to do is make my bow, and I have plenty of ribbon. This spool, let's see, it's 2 by 5 inches wide, and it is 4 yards long. So the piece I have is not 4 yards, of course, because I've used it already, but it's still super long, and I can get a nice bow out of this. This looks to be 2 yards. Okay, so what we do is you can make it as long or short as you want to, but I would say about as long as my hand is how I'm going to make the first loop, and then you double it around just like that around the back, and then the front loops, or the loops after that, I'm going to make shorter so that it can kind of have some depth or dimension to it. I don't want them all the exact same length, so I'm just going to make them a little smaller, and then I'm going to push that underneath there, and there we have it. And what I am going to do is take my wire, my floral wire, and I'm going to let the tails come to me facing this way. And then I'm going to twist, just like you twist a twist tie. I'm going to take both of them and just twist tightly, close to the ribbon. Twist, twist, right at the ribbon, and that way it gets tight right there. Okay. All right. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And you can either let it drape down like this or be forward like this and just kind of cascade it around. I don't know how I got this little baby loop in there. What I'm going to do, since there are 2 pieces of tail together, I am going to just kind of make a quadruple piece, and I am going to stick it in the foam right there at the bottom. Okay, and just kind of, you can just bend it in place actually, and then you can glue it. So it's like that. Just kind of bend it up a little bit, and if you need to glue it in place, you can do that, but I'm gonna stagger the bow and see how pretty. How pretty is that? Okay, so I'm going to reinforce it with my glue. I'm just going to turn it over and glue some of the ribbon to the foam. And also where I stuck it in the foam at, I'm going to go ahead and glue it there. Okay, it's kind of behind the leaves, but behind the ribbon. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I get that other side. All right, so anyway, that's how you do that. You can glue these if they act like they're not going to stay, but I have wire in mine, so they stay where you put them. Okay, so now that that part is done, I'm going to set this aside. And I am going to put the felt tips on the back of the board. Oh wow, they have sticky, it sticks. It's self-sticking. So I'm going to turn that over, and right at each corner, I am going to put these little felt tips on. That's going to keep from scratching up my door, because I have a glass door. Okay, so I have 3 on right now, and I'm just going to put the 4th one on right up here at the top. So you want to put them so that they cannot be seen. Let's see, that up a little bit more. And this one too, because it's the bottom, so you definitely don't want them sticking from underneath. Okay. Okay, so there you have it. Also, before I turn it back over, I'm going to take this off, this tape here, and it has this little hanger right here, which is great because I'm just going to loop this just like this. Now you could do it like this, but I'm not going to. This screws on, and I don't feel like going through the headache of putting 2 on and all that stuff. So put this on this hook here. I have an adjustable wreath hook, so you can pull it down. It goes much further. Let's see. It goes really low, goes way down there. But I just want mine high because it has this long loop on it. So it's going to be short. And I have a glass at the top of mine. I really don't want covered up. So I'll show you, of course, what it looks like on the door. But what we're going to do is loop this through so it can be tied on here very tight. I'm going to loop it back through a second time on each side there. And now I'm going to just tie it. Okay. I'm going to knot it. Well, I'm not going to knot it because I want to make sure that this looks good before I permanently knot it. So I'm just going to make a shoestring bow so that I can easily undo it if I want to. But if the height is good and the length rather and everything, then I will leave it as such. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it back over. And first, before I put the flowers and ribbon on, I'm going to put the H on, and I'm just going to hot glue it down. So it looks rustic. I've used this one before. I took this off another wreath, but it looks rustic because it's been through the weather, the wind, the snow, the rain, and all that stuff, and it just looks nice and weathered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put hot glue on the back of this. And you don't have to overdo it, but some people may like to use the E6000. I'm not a huge fan of it. I have used it, you know, but in working with in close quarters, it's just not the best to be breathing that in, you know, the fumes and everything. So all right, so I'm going to quickly get this on here, right down at the bottom as evenly as possible, and just hold it down. And if it doesn't seem to be holding well later, I'll do the E6000 on it. All right, guys, so I'm going to add a little bit of this red mesh here at the top just for a little depth, a little bit more. So all you do is okay, it's like that. You just fold it under. And I'm putting it behind everything so that way it will not seem Christmassy. So we're making a big bow. Okay. And you go ahead and you cut it here and then wire it closed. And you get your wire. And we don't need a long piece for this because just a little piece of do. And we're going to, it doesn't matter what side you're going to put this on because it's not going to be seen. So as before, you twist it close to the ribbon. So any strings, you want to make sure to cut those off. Anything that's frayed, make sure to cut that off. And I'm going to hot glue this on. So we're just going to, and I'm putting it on the wood because I'm going to glue the foam on the back of the leaves and the flowers. That's going right on the blackboard. Okay, you can always, you can always glue things down. Like I want this to kind of hang this way, so I'm going to put it here. Okay. And all this debris and everything that's gonna, you can just blow that and it'll just scatter. It's just kind of crumbs from being handled. Okay, so now I am going to put glue on the board and on the foam. I want this to stick really well. Try to put it in the center. Ooh, I got it on my finger. And we're going to put that down like so, and you're going to push it in. And hold it down, push it really firmly so that it'll stick down good. And you want to make sure it's centered. So thank goodness it is. Okay. Push it down. And then we're going to put it here. 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 And Okay, now this is just the underside, so it doesn't, this is not a good shot of it, but when it's raised up and you're looking at it forward, it's gonna be so pretty. What we want to do now is go behind yourself and kind of put some glue right where the foam and the board meet, just to reinforce some things. Okay. And you can even do it on here if you like. Just a thin layer, and make sure you don't pull it or anything like that before it dries. You want it to dry clear, so you don't want to move it around. You want to hold it. I would say a good 20 seconds, because the glue sticks, they dry pretty fast. Okay, it is finished. I found some burlap around the house, you all, and I just made not a complete bow. All I did was made loops. So I just took like a 10-inch piece of burlap, folded it over to the ends meet, and I stuffed it under there and glued it. That's what I did here, here, and then a little piece is right there, like a 4-inch piece, and then I folded that in half and I glued it down to the green foam down there. So there's that. So it can be easily done. If you have to take another wreath apart, you can use pieces of ribbon from around your home and just repurpose them. So anyway, it's looking a little messy right here. Let me get it cleaned off and I'll show you what it looks like on the door. It is finished and on the door, and let me show you a wider shot. So pretty. I love the door. The curb appeal from the street looks really nice. Don't forget to check below in the drop down description box, and I'll give you the links to Amazon so you can find the products there.